That night I could hardly sleep. Whenever I dozed off for a moment, strange and colorful dreams would lift me like a flying cot and toss me from one place to another. Somehow, morning finally arrived. I quickly gathered my school bag and, running as fast as I could, went straight to Maulvi Sahib's house. He wasn't there himself, but on his cot, Satoka Begum lay asleep with a malka dupatta pulled over her face. I went to the kitchen, but Maulvi Sahib wasn't there either. I checked another room, empty. A small snake of hope uncoiled happily inside my heart. Perhaps Maulvi Sahib had died during the night and been buried by now, but then suddenly, a voice came from the back room, like someone speaking from inside a grave. "Son, listen." I ran towards the room and asked with great eagerness, "Maulvi Sahib, did the lump appear?" "Stop your babbling," he scolded. He was sitting all alone in that tiny, suffocating room, his bedding spread on the floor, munching on bakakani with tea. He gestured for me to stay outside and, in a heavy voice, said that Satoka Begum had a high fever. A swollen gland had appeared under her right arm. Her parents had been informed and would be arriving soon. "Son, stay with my wife for now and look after her," he said, tossing a few coins towards me. "Go buy some ice. Put it on her forehead. Make sherbet and give it to her. And listen, keep the glass by the street tap. Don't mix it with the kitchen dishes." I brought the ice, broke a piece, and began rubbing it on Satoka Begum's forehead like a bar of soap. The ice melted like a pat of butter on a hot pan, and the water trickled down her eyes, ears, and cheeks. A few moments later she opened her eyes, stared at me with surprise, then pushed me away. "Oh dear child, don't sit near me, plague has appeared on me. May Allah protect you." I quickly made sherbet, crushed plenty of ice into it, and she drank the whole glass in one gulp. When I began making a second one, she stopped me. "No, no, child, not now. God bless you." She lay for a long time staring at the ceiling. Then she said, "My mouth feels so bitter. Will you bring me a sweet palm?" She reached for some money, but I slipped out before she could hand it to me. Raghunat Bazaar was maybe 2.5 miles away. I ran all the way to the shop where we had eaten sweet pan just the day before. I bought 4 pans and hurried back, but when I returned, her parents had practically taken over the house. 3 or 4 men sat tightly around her cot, 2 women had claimed the kitchen. When I tried to give the pan to Satoka Begum, her father snatched the parcel from my hand and scolded me. For a while I wandered around the house feeling useless. Then I went to the back room to speak to Maulvi Sahib. He lay motionless under a sheet, head to toe, and when he heard my voice he stuck out a hand and waved me away angrily. Since no one paid me any attention, I eventually went home. That night I told my mother that the wife of our religious teacher had caught the plague, and that Maulvi Sahib himself was likely to develop the swelling soon. "I've made a vow for them," I said. "So please prepare the niyas of Roshan Shah Wali." "All right," my mother said. "I'll cook it early in the morning. Take it to the shrine on your way to school and pray for them. But listen, don't you dare go near their house again. It's a contagious disease. May Allah have mercy on everyone." At dawn she cooked sweet rice with raisins, apricots, kernels, and coconut, and poured it into a big clay bowl for the offering. Then she brought out a new white muslin dupatta, folded it neatly, and placed it over the bowl. I set out happily with my school bag in one hand and the niyas in the other. But by the time I reached Roshan Shah Wali's shrine, all my joy had evaporated. I kept thinking of the shrine's custodian, the same brute who had charged Satoka Begum a fine of 1.25 rupees simply because she tried to place a small sheet on the big shrine. The muslin dupatta was even smaller than that sheet. I had no money with me, and even if I did, my heart refused to give it to that greedy wretch. But as soon as I caught sight of that hideous ghoul circling near the shrine, a huge weight lifted from my chest. I saluted the shrine from a distance, sat by the roadside, ate half the rice myself, and gave the rest to an old woman kneading cow dung cakes nearby. I folded the white dupatta neatly and tucked it between my books inside the school bag. And as I walked, I let my imagination wander. One plan was to go straight to Qudratullah the dyer's shop and have the dupatta dyed. Anar pink, lilac, grape, saffron, one color after another danced before my eyes. Every shade seemed as though it would bloom beautifully on Satoka Begum. I tried my hardest to remember which color she liked best, but she had never once mentioned her preferences. Still, I decided that today I would ask her without fail. If she didn't answer, I had another plan. I would take the dupatta to Dean Muhammad Butt, the most famous man in town for dyeing leheria patterns on scarves and turbans. When school teachers or college boys came out wearing his creations, the streets filled with waves of swirling color, lost in a world of colors, scents, and daydreams. I reached Maulvi Sahib's house, only for my whole basket of fantasies to crash like Sheikh Chili's eggs. Everything collapsed at once. In the courtyard, Satoka Begum's funeral bier was laid out, ready to be carried. 8 or 10 vulture-like men hovered in the alley outside. Horrified, I ran to Maulvi Sahib. He was sitting in his little room, wrapped in a sheet, reciting the Quran through tears. When he saw me approaching, he waved me away angrily with his left hand. Why are you coming here? Go and attend the funeral. Do you remember the intention and method of the funeral prayer, or have you forgotten? I taught you so many times. Yes, I remember, I replied loudly, and muttered curses under my breath on his mother, sister, and his so-called lesson. What is this? Yes, nonsense, he snapped. You say, Ji nahi. Fool. I cursed him silently a little more, stuck out my tongue at him behind his back, and he hurled a shoe at me. Luckily it missed. Only 10 or 12 men had started from the house, but by the time we reached the graveyard, only 5 or 6 remained. The cemetery was bustling. The gravediggers were busy. 3 or 4 graves were being dug side by side. They lowered Satoka Begum quickly into the niche and shoveled heaps of brown soil over her slender body. A man sprinkled half a barrel of water over the grave, recited the Fatiha, and everyone left. I thought perhaps I should at least place the white muslin dupatta on her grave. But some people from another funeral were standing nearby, so I felt embarrassed. Holding my bag tightly under my arm, I walked home in silence. The rest, God willing, in the next video.